morning, Mike.
Good morning, good evening, Rob.
Nope, this is Daryl. This is Charlie Echo Fox.
Okay, I guess I heard you, Daryl. Thought that was Rob or somebody, but good evening. I was just trying to get the antenna going south for the guys down that way. Good evening, KG6 Charlie Echo Fox, K6MYC.
Good evening, Mike and Judy, if she's there. 982.
Yep, got your 982. Judy's busy. She's got her daughter here, and her daughter, is recovering from a dual operation on arms for broken bones, shattered bones, so to speak. And so she's taking care of she brought down Judy's dog, and she brought her own dog, almost two identical little jiu-jitsus or whatever they call them. And she's taking care of the dogs and making sure that Carolyn's okay. So she's busy in the other room, but we can hold it together here, I think, tonight. Over.
Roger. Well, what did the cats are going to be all upset, Mike. Was she in a car accident or what?
Well, she's got a cast on the left arm. It was broken both in the wrist, in the carpals, the tarsals, three different breaks, and she's got screws holding together some of the bones. They put in a plate or a rod of something in their forearm. The problem was that all the breaks were displacement breaks. They weren't just cracks. The bones actually came apart and misaligned themselves, so they weren't going to go back together right. And so they had to operate on to get things to be back together in the correct format and then screw things together so that it doesn't come apart. But she's got pretty good use of her right hand. It was only one bone broken there, and they got that one screwed together, so she got a minimal cast on there, got finger movement and finger use and so on.
The result of an accident?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is that the result of an accident?
Oh, yeah, well, she just fell down. She was carrying a box from Judy's trailer up on the property they have in San Andreas. She was moving some stuff out of the trailer, so she had a big box in her arms, and she didn't notice it, but a piece of PVC tubing that Judy had up holding up her awning had fallen down and was laying on the cement in a funny format, and she tripped on that. I guess got her legs tangled up in that and just went head first down to the box and hands on either side, and that's when it happened. Over.
Oh, man, that's rough. Oh, boy. Well, sounds like she's recovering. Well, all righty. I guess we'll go ahead and let the net roll. I bet there's guys waiting. Or maybe not.
I'm just getting my Bluetooth going here. I'm good now. Okay. Very good. Anyway, good evening to you, Daryl. And let's see. I thank you very much. I forgot to mention it the other day. You had given us that we had traded for the air conditioning unit, and I was using that. For some reason, I got very, very high level of feedback or monitor in my earphones here. So I don't know whether Aaron can do anything about that where he is. I think he's in a remote format tonight.
Do you need to turn the gain down on the radio?
Yeah, well, it's the monitor gain. It's down now. He did fix it already. That was good. Okay, anyway. Everything else is fine. It was cooled off pretty nice here. It's just about 89 degrees out there right now and cooling off nicely this evening, so pretty pleasant out there.
Oh, good deal. I'll get out there and get an antenna sooner or later someday.
Okay. Who else do we have in here? I thought I heard another voice.
Well, you know, I thought there was going to be somebody waiting, but there isn't.
Okay. Where's everybody? It's 7:30, isn't it?
Yeah, it's past that now.
Yeah, a couple of minutes. Okay, well, anyway, QRZ 432. I think we're on the right frequency here. K6MYC, running power, and beaming south to toward KB6RQU. The monitor's back up again. It keeps coming and going. I wonder if it's something to do with the radio. Yeah, every time I key up, it builds up and builds up and builds up in my headphones, in my hearing aids here. It's down when I first turn the mic off, and then it builds up toward the end, so I guess he hasn't adjusted it yet. Anyway, it's just slightly annoying because it's pretty loud. Anyway, if I let go of the mic every now and again, it starts at a lower level, so I can deal with it. Anyway, KB6RQU down there in Lake Isabella. I wonder if you're with us tonight, Rick. We'd love to have you in here on 432 and remind you of the contest coming up this weekend. KB6RQU or anybody down south, K6MYC.
KC5DTU 712.
Oh, good evening, Kerry.
Good evening, Michael and Judy, if she's in the shack.
She isn't, but she should be, but she's busy with the dogs. We got two little dogs here now. Her dog and her daughter's dog, and she's dealing with them.
Roger, roger. I'm still waiting on some help to get everything down, and I'll give you a shout and be heading your way.
Oh, okay. Very busy day. Lots of stuff going on. The attack, Israel on Iran and all that. And the shuffling of their feet with the slight change of the Chinese agreement on the rare metals, rare material. And just in the number in the Padilla debacle, which was a bullcrap thing, but that's okay. They got to do something to keep the name in the news.
Roger, roger. Well, look, just keep the powder dry for the weekend on the 14th. Lots of things expected to happen.
Yeah, I heard that. I can't remember what the occasion is. Is that Armed Forces Day or something?
Yeah, that's a roger that. It's the 250th birthday of the Army, and they're staging all kinds of military equipment on the other side of the Potomac. But it just also happens to be the wedding date of George Soros Jr. and Uma Abedin.
Are they getting married, or they have been married, and are they as an anniversary?
They're getting married. And just think, that's going to draw a whole bunch of muckety-mucks together at one place.
What's the name of the woman he's marrying? What's her background?
Uma Abedin. She's formerly Uma Weiner, married to Anthony Weiner.
Oh, Anthony Weiner's daughter?
Nope, Anthony Weiner's former wife.
Oh, I see. Okay, well.
She was also Hillary Clinton's girlfriend also.
Oh, she's made the rounds, huh?
Yeah, that's affirmative, but I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but they're certainly going to have a lot of well-known people together at one place, and the military is massing.
Yeah, where is this? All in that area where they're around the Potomac?
I was going to say, can we pray for a misfire?
Is massing and staging all of the equipment on the other side of the Potomac to bring into D.C. on Armed Forces Day.
And where's the wedding occurring?
I'm not sure where it's going to be, but
I hear you, Dave.
It certainly, if it was me and I had all of these people that I had warrants for, I think in one place, I think I would make a swoop in and get them. Not saying that it's going to happen, but if it was me.
Well, do they have warrants for some of the folks that are involved? I know they don't have. I don't think they got something for Soros, but he should be picked up. But they probably have a hard time getting him to be something on him that they can pin down.
Well, like I said, a lot of people that have done illegal things are going to be at that wedding. So I don't know. Just a thought, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, okay. Very good. And Dave had a comment. So, Dave, go ahead. K6VBG 971. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, what a time for a misfire.
Yeah, right. What a time for a misfire, a misdirectional. Oops, didn't mean to shoot the cannon in that direction.
It's like a mother of all bombs in that direction.
Yeah, something like that. Apparently, the Israelis took out one of the nuclear sites in Iran. I don't know if they didn't use a Moab, but they may have used something close to it.
Well, that's a positive thing.
Well, I'm hearing it's not about the nuke, so there's a deeper meaning. I'm still digging.
Well, they just announced they have a new warhead for their missile, supersonic missile that can handle 4,000 pounds of warhead. And I guess they've got over 1,000 of them. They're building 100 a month, so they're stocking up for a rain down on the Iron Dome. Over.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't be. I'm not too concerned about it right now. I think other things are being cooked up.
Well, you got me guessing on that one.
Roger. To be continued.
Okay. I'll be waiting for that phone call.
Roger, will do.
All right, let's see. Who else do we have in here? Dave, good evening to you, K6VBG. We got, and I've heard, I think Rob, everybody is over at the meeting. I guess that's where it's quiet. There's a meeting, Fresno Amateur Radio Club meeting at Marcus's place tonight. So they'll all be checking in at once here. But that's why it's quiet from some names and some voices here. Viewers, Ed, one more time, looking south to KB6RQU or anybody down south of us here, Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie 432 Bozo Net, over. Okay, very quiet. I'm going to head over towards Santa Cruz and see what happens here. Sorted towards Santa Cruz. Should be able to hear somebody over there. Maybe Lee's supposed to be on this evening. KB6, I should say KW6S. KW6S or AF6 United. K6MYC calling and listening.
Hey,
SF6 United. I am here tonight. I gave a pause for Tom. I didn't hear him in there.
Okay, but I got good copy on you. Let me see if I can get a peek, and it sounds every bit as good as what I've heard in the past, so you haven't done any damage, over.
Well, boy, am I relieved to hear that. When I put the whole thing together, I tried to get the rotator so that it would be, true north, and I didn't get that alignment. I must have been wiggling other things around and whatnot, and so I really couldn't get good alignment on it, and I think I'm like 15 degrees off. And so I've been playing around with that and trying to figure out what the right direction to point over to you guys are, and I'm kind of using where I used to point before, but I'm not sure. Right now I'm at like 15 degrees a little bit further east than I used to be, and so I'm not sure if that's doing it right or not.
Well, if you have clear skies and you get some stars tonight, you should be. Can you see the Milky Way? Have you seen the Milky Way from your location?
Well, not only can I see the Milky Way, but I can also see the North Star. I know how to pick out the North Star and do that sort of thing. But the fog has been rolling in, although last night was relatively clear with the full moon and everything, so that was nice. But yeah, I can do some star aiming and that sort of thing, but I can't get to the rotator, so I do have to try and figure out how to get that all aligned and everything. But I get what you're getting at, point the antenna at that, and then, see where it says on the rotator, and then, make the appropriate adjustments, and I should have it all dialed in.
Yeah, I didn't mean the Milky Way. I meant the Big Dipper. The lower edge of the Big Dipper, the lower two stars that form the lower lip of the Big Dipper, the lower edge, if you will. If you line those stars and look upward higher in the sky in alignment with those stars, that's the next brightest one up is the North Star. And that's what you should use to set your compass. You don't want to use magnetic for north. So that's true north. What you ought to do is just pick something to sight through, maybe your tower or whatever, sight through it, and then even in the daylight, where to point.
Yeah, okay. Well, like I said, I can kind of get an idea of what's going on there, but I just have to get out there at nighttime and do it. And I didn't quite do that last night, so and that was the first clear night we had. Every other night that we've had so far in the last week or two, the fog has rolled in kind of early, and so I haven't had a clear sky. So fortunately tonight I do have a clear sky, and so I will see what I can do about that. But I am elated that you can hear me tonight. And Bozo 1098, the Countdown Bozo here. And so, I'll kind of give a pause here maybe. KW6F, are you out there tonight, Tom, or how's Barbara doing?
United, KW6NYC, KW6F. Oh, she's doing fine. She's watching, it was Jeopardy. I think she's on to something else now. And I'm on here checking mostly on to make sure 6 meters isn't going crazy like it was.
But you must be running 5 watts or so. You're extremely weak, Tom. Much weaker than Lee. Over.
Yeah, well, that's probably the case. I should have a little more power now. It's threw the switch on, but for some reason it didn't come on. So I've got it turned on now. Is this a little better?
Oh, yeah. Now it's up to normal, but Lee's made a good improvement on his signal based on yours. He's a little weaker than you are now, but not by very much. So he's got things working pretty well over there, and pointed pretty close too. Anyway, good evening, KW6S 610. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, very good. K6MYC, AF6U, KW6S. Yeah, I'm trying to see what I can do on 6 after an exciting night the other night. Last night I was on a bit and didn't have any of the fun we had on 6 the other night, but keep looking. Did manage to work a couple new countries and one new country on, I think, 5 new bands. So that's always kind of puts your feather in your hat for the evening. KW6S. Back to you, Mike.
Yep, for sure. What was the country you worked?
Well, it's one of those, I don't know how to pronounce it. It looks like Kiribati, but I think it's Kiribati.
Oh, it is Kiribati. Okay. That's out east somewhere, out west, I mean, off of India or somewhere, Kiribati?
Well, yeah, it's up there a bit north of Australia.
Yes, that's it. Okay. Maybe a couple of different pronunciations and spellings of it, too. I don't know. I thought it was Kiribati, but I could be wrong. Anyway, I know which one you're talking about. Don't know what the call sign would be, but anyway, very good. You didn't catch them on 6, but you got them on the other bands. And find out all the activity other night on 6. I didn't get in on any. Well, I did work with the 0 that was on our frequency there. Well, we were calling the net, but that's the only station I worked. I stopped right after that, went to do other things. Things were happening here, and I had to get back to. Anyway, we haven't had any dinner yet. Matt's running a little late tonight. I guess maybe he decided to do some shopping that he was going to put off a night, but maybe he decided to do it tonight, so he's late. No worries. I had quite a few snacks this afternoon, so I'm not starving, that's for sure. Anyway, good to hear you and Lee in there, and we'll let you go, and of course look for you this weekend in the contest. In the contest, make sure that switch activates what it's supposed to activate there. Over.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Each of these amps, the on-off switch of all 4 of these VHF amps turn on the same power supply. And I flipped that one on, and it didn't turn on. And I know I had a problem with the 2-meter when I lost the step start. So I usually just turn it on with the 1296 one. But tonight it didn't come on, but the 220 amp switch turned on to 432. So it all worked out. And yeah, it was Lee. Yeah, that was on FT8. And I think I even worked the guy that Lee worked on sideband. I think I worked him on FT8 a little bit later as well. I think I worked 38 stations. Anyway, I'll turn it back to you and start planning for the weekend. AF6U, K6MYC, KW6S.
Okay, and I don't think there's anybody over here right now. They're all over at Marcus's place in Clovis, so they're not. Big guns are not checking in with you. Anybody want to work Tom or Lee, K6MYC? They're in the middle of a meeting over there. They'll be checking in here later, I'm pretty sure. Okay, good enough, Tom. 7-3. We'll see you Saturday. I'll start out on 2 meters at 144-200, and I'll put the VFO so I can switch back and forth quickly between 144-200 and 144-240. Just make sure everybody gets on the right frequency when I announce where I'm going to go next on 222. 7-3. Over to you, Lee. Wrap it up. AF6 United, K6MYC.
Yeah, okay, Mike. I actually, while you and Tom were talking there, I had a chance to wiggle the antenna around a little bit, and I think I might have gotten a little bit better positioning here. So do you think I came up at all in signal strength?
Yeah, you came up another notch. Go ahead.
All right, sounds good, because I was getting you originally around an S1, and now I'm getting you around S2, S3, something like that. The band seems to be wavering just a tiny bit, but yeah, and Tom, you sure came up there after you hit the right switch, so that was a pretty amazing change there. So, okay, I will turn it back to Mike and K6MYC from AF6 United, back to net.
Okay, very good, Lee. 7-3. We'll see you this weekend with bells on, but you certainly improved your 432 signal here. Thanks for wiggling the antenna. I would imagine that from your place, I should be about at about 85 degrees. 85 degrees.
Roger, you are about 85 to 87 degrees, because I actually had a chance to plot it out, and it's right there between 85 and 87 degrees. It's almost due east for me, but not quite, just a little bit north. So yeah, that's excuse me, that's pretty good. And with my compensation of about 15 degrees off, excuse me, my new antenna placement on the rotator here, that all of that just is falling right into place. So thank you very much, and I will say 7-3 to everybody. K6MYC, KW6F, AF6 United, back to net.
Okay, very good. You know, then when you put it on the tower and get it even higher, it's even going to be better. So you're doing good. Good stuff. 7-3, Lee. 7-3, Tom. We'll see you this weekend. AF6 United, KW6S, K6MYC, clear and sliding up into the Bay Area.
KJ6TYO 1009.
KJ6TYO, good evening, Ron.
Hey, good evening, Mike. I thought I'd just get out there and give a little check-in there before I go ahead and go to bed.
There you go. You got a work day again tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. One more day here Friday, and we'll call it, and then hopefully get all set up and try to get make some contacts with the guys out there who need the points for the contest this weekend.
Sounds good. They'll appreciate it. It's good to get on. A lot of times, a lot of the Bozo guys don't ever work the contest, and it's a sad thing because we work more people during the nets than we do in the contest on each band, which is disappointing. Anyway, it does happen that way, so anyway, maybe it'll be better this year. Hopefully we'll get some big 6-meter openings. 7-3, and good to hear you.
All right, take care, Mike. Have a good one. KJ6TYO.
Now, let me see. Bay Area, I'm hearing talking there. Go ahead, guys. I'm hearing chatter from the Bay Area. QRZ Bay Area Bozo Net, K6MYC, Central California. 432 Bozo Net, Bay Area, please, over. WB6, and then you went away. QRZ the Bay Area. Check-ins, please, from the Bay Area. There's people talking there. Maybe you guys are all chattering locally. Anyway, QRZ Bay Area, Bozo Net, 432, K6MYC.
And I also hear 86, that's okay.
Oh, there you are.
And then San Jose.
I hear you. Hang on, was that you, John, in San Jose? Who said San Jose?
Oh, this is WB6, WNI 1090, Gary.
hi, Gary. I got you, too. Okay, let me get Fred here. KD6SOK. Good evening, Fred. You're not your normal strength here. Maybe it's you're not pointed right or I'm not pointed right. Give me a little chatter, and hopefully we'll see you this weekend, Fred. KD6SOK 507 K6MYC.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you some chatter there, Mike. Yeah, so this weekend I'll monitor the band. And let's see, you're going to start at 2 meters and then work up to 220, 222, 2 meters, and 432, and then 1296.
Wasn't long enough for me to get a sweep on you, Fred. Give me some more chatter.
Okay, let's see. Do you have a heading that you normally point at? Like pointing at that heading and leave it there for the net, or do you have to always tweak back and forth for the net? At least it's never the same. If you point it, your rotator is just doesn't have the accuracy. Do you have the repeatability on it? I guess it doesn't have the repeatability. Boy, that would be really annoying, especially in engineering. The robotic arm couldn't return the same that you programmed it to go to. Anyway, let's see. Maybe there's something loose over there on the rotor, so KD6 something.
My rotor or yours?
Yours. I never have a problem.
Have anything loose. It's just that you're fading so badly I can't get a peak. I'm pointing right at where you should be, and that's where the peak is, but it keeps coming and going. You're going up and down. It's just fan conditions, I guess. Over.
Could be, but I never have a problem with this rotor. You know why? Guess why?
You don't have a rotor.
Exactly.
Okay. You don't have a rotor, but the wind can spin you. You did once or twice before.
Oh, that was terrible. The two times it ever did that, it was hurricane gale force winds out here. I mean, it was really hurricane force winds, and that's when trees were coming down the neighborhood. It was awful. And there's so much torque on that beam. It's just, you can't stop it.
Yeah, I understand. No problem. I got you. You're just not bodacious like you normally are here on 432. But it may not be. It may be just conditions. Gary wasn't very strong either. So anyway, let me let you go, but we're certainly looking for you on the weekend. And Saturday night, particularly 7 o'clock, I start on 2 meters. Then we go to 222 at 7:30. 8 o'clock be 1296, and then 432, 830. Something like that. So hopefully we can work you on all the bands there. 220, 1296, and 432. And maybe even sneak a 6-meter contact in there, although I don't know if you got something up for 6 or not. 7-3 Fed, KD6SOK for your final, K6MYC.
Yeah, the band is really going up and down. Sometimes your signal disappears completely. I didn't get much of that, but I think I got the tail end of that. So I'll say 7-3, Mike, KD6SOK.
Yeah, that's the band. I'm running 800 watts at your friend. I can see why hopefully we don't have these conditions on the weekend. Yesterday's 2-meter signals were bodacious. Everybody was huge. So I don't know why it can be funny like this on 432. Anyway, Gary, over to you. Take a transmission, WB6WNI, K6MYC.
K6MYC, W6WNI. Yes, very good, Mike. Fred, I hear you very well. Mike, there is a lot of QSB phase. Yeah, is it quite the contrast, or I'm starting with my backyard.
Got to go the other way for him, Mike.
Very iffy, so.
Got you perfect, You're real loud.
I've heard this band equal that, but not tonight. Anyway, I'm going to let you move on to Nice. I know Jim Jason is in the mix here as well. So I think when you finish dinner, and say 73, see you on Saturday. K6MYC, 6W91090.
Yeah, fine, Gary. We got you, but a little bit of QSB, but I went back and forth across you. And Jim broke in and said, I'm too far north for you, but that's where you were peaking, right? When you said that, Jim, that's where his best signal was. Anyway, thank you, Gary, and we'll see you this weekend, my friend. WB6WNI to W6PQL, okay, 6MYC. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, it's it fades fast. It comes up fast and fades fast too. So it's most of the bands are like that these days. I don't know whether the sun has anything to do with it. I doubt it because it's VHF, UHF. But anywho, you were 5'9" when you came back to me that one time, just a minute ago. And it was a pretty cool day over here. Didn't even get to 70. I don't think it was more than 69 today at the high. K6MYC, W6PQL.
Yep. Well, it was warmer here. We did get to the 90s. We got to 91, 92, something like that. I think it peaked at about 92. And then it dropped back pretty nice. It's nice out there right now. I like that temperature. Between 80 and 90 is wonderful. That's my comfort level for me. Anyway, I found a weed, found another couple of weeds, and put enough weeds in barrels to fill 2 barrels. So I found a new source of weeds, and I accused Judy of planting the weeds for me. Over.
Oh, okay. How did she take that?
Not very well.
Okay. Well, you can blame it on the pigs next time.
Yeah, right. Alrighty. Anyway, we're looking forward to the weekend, and we'll see how we do. Hopefully the bands get stable. And this up and down, well, the up and down stuff isn't bad in the contest because you only need to get the sky on a peak, but sometimes it does make you wait for a minute or two while that peak occurs, or if a guy doesn't have any patience. That's why we have the nets, which should teach you that sooner or later it's going to come up and you get a good signal, but you may have to wait a minute. Anyway, hopefully they remember that and don't get too impatient in the contest. W6PQL, and I haven't heard KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie yet. Let's see if Mike is in there. KB6 WFC, are you there, Mike? I bumped a little past you. I still don't hear him.
No, I haven't heard him in there yet tonight.
Okay, WB6JNN, WB6JNN or KB6BA, either one, over.
Jim is here. You might have to go a little further south for him, though.
That was a double with somebody. Who was that?
This is Kilowatt 6 Whiskey India Sierra.
K6 Whiskey India Sugar. Good evening, Paul. Good signal. It's going to be a little thin here, but I'll peek on you somewhere here. I wonder if you've got any other check-ins, and of course you're hopefully ready for the contest, I hope. Over.
Yeah, good evening, Mike and the group. K6MYC, this is K6WIS. Thanks for slipping me in there. You're 5 by 3 right now with some fading, as you noted. No other check-ins for me, no relays, just myself, over.
Okay, no relays. No problem. We got you, and we'll look for you if you stick around. We'll look for you on the direct path also, and you're weaker than normal here. But it's readable, 100% readable. Thanks, Paul, and looking forward to the weekend with you there. I think there was somebody else in there. I should be pointed toward Jim, and I'm disappointed that I haven't heard KT2G for such a long time. He doesn't have very much of a signal here on 432, but I didn't hear him on 1296 either, where he's usually quite strong. But I'd sure like to catch Marcelino. We've got a bunch of Italians coming in here on Monday, and wanted to find out what his last name was. And he's been recognized by the Italian government. I wonder if these guys know him. That's kind of what I wanted to catch him for. I can always look him up on the web, on the QRZ page, and get the last name, I guess. His name is not Mark, it's Marcelinos, or something close to that. But anyway, I was hoping that KT2G would be in here tonight. KB6BA, WB6JNN, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, or anybody else I'm missing. K6MYC 432 Bozo Net, over. I don't hear anybody. How about you, Jim?
Well, I had the antenna off of you and off of the Bay Area, really. I don't hear anybody either. I know that WB6JNN was in here. He was talking to Tom over there in Santa Cruz just briefly. But, Jim, are you on frequency WB6JNN, W6PQL?
Well, if you heard him, I'll already him in here.
Yeah, he was here. He might have just stepped away for a minute.
Yeah, his daughter's still living there, so it's 3 people in the house. It's a little different than when he just has he and his wife. Okay, well, I'll come back to the Bay Area maybe at the end here. I'm still missing all the guys that are at the Fresno Amateur Radio Club meeting. All the big guns are down there. There's 4 or 5 of them there. So they'll be checking in here before too long, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to go up and get Oakley and see if N6RO is freed up tonight. So here we go toward 300 degrees. N6RO, okay, 6MYC.
Hey, 6MYC, N6RO, Bozo 835, howdy do. Dinner was leftover fish, which was Hokkaido cheese. Anyway, shrimp, scallops, and leftover mahi-mahi. And the veggie was, Brussels sprouts. Memory is really working fast today. High temperature 88, and not much more else to report. We'll see you on Saturday night, N6RO.
Yeah, okay. Well, talk about memory. Here's a weird one for you, and I don't know how I could not remember this, but I can't remember the name of the person you talked to on the phone to get her to do things. What's her name?
What's that?
What's the name of the woman that talks to you in your phone that does all your phone messaging and stuff, or makes calls for you? Who is that? Soris or somebody?
No, I do it all.
You don't do it. You don't use her. Series, I guess is her name. Series. I could not think of that today, and I thought, my God, this phone is absolutely useless for me. If I can't tell her what call to make, I can't make a call from this phone, so I had to go in the house to use a home phone.
Oh, yeah, Siri, okay. I think Siri has been retired, and the new online assistant is Gemini.
No, I still got Siri. She comes up and makes a little swirly thing on the bottom of my phone when I say her name right, but I tried every other name I could think of, and I could not bring up Siri's for some reason.
Ah, okay, well, I'm not an expert on the internet stuff.
That's a phone thing. I'm iPhone. Anyway, we'll see you Saturday with bells on. N6RO, okay, 6MYC.
Yeah, right. I'll try to be around in the first hour, and of course for your gathering starting at 7, N6RO.
Sounds good. And we'll also finish, I usually come in for the last hour Sunday night. Of course, we do not have a net, so if we've missed you on any band, we can catch you there. But I'll be making noise on 144, 200, bouncing back and forth between 200 and 240. Make sure I pick up people that didn't know there was a contest on. I usually do that from about 7 to 8 o'clock until the contest is over. 7-3, N6 Radio Ocean, K6MYC.
Yeah, right. Part of my plan is always the last hour, so we may see you there if we need you.
Roger.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Whiskey Victor Lima.
Yeah, KD6WVL 1179. Good evening, John.
Oh, good evening, Mike. You're sounding good here. The band's kind of up and down, but you're at a peak right now. Sounding good. 1179.
Yeah, I think this is the best I've heard you on 432. Last week you were really thin, but tonight it's very good. Over.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you a tip with the phone. Don't get in an argument with Google, because I tell you what, she screwed with me for like 2 months. I have a thing in the house, that spies on me, and in in my phone. And man, she would not talk to me for 2 months.
Series?
Well, Google. I don't know what her name is, but I have a Samsung phone. But I guess I called her a name she didn't like. She told me don't talk to me like that, and that was it.
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes she can really tick you off, can't she?
Oh, yeah, she couldn't seem to make a phone call, and I was driving and I needed her to hook it up, and I kind of got a little upset with her, and she got a little upset with me. And I tell you, that thing messed with me. She was talking to me in German and everything, just kind of messing with me.
Well, I would have told her to take it where the light didn't shine.
Well, that's kind of where it all started.
Okay. Who shot the first bullet, huh?
Yeah, that was it. Well, good evening to you and Judy. Have a good evening.
Okay, 7-3, and here's a big fade, but we got you right to the end, so you're Q5 all the way. 7-3, John. KD6 Whiskey Victor Lima. Standing by for anybody else that's copying here, N6BCC or N5NPD. Anybody else in this direction? K6MYC 432.
K6USY 1079 and
5MPD 1129.
I hear you. Adam. Aaron, I knew. My brain's not working today. I turned it off this morning and I forgot to turn it back on. Got you, Aaron, but hang on a second, because I don't know whether you're at home or at Marcus's place, but you're very weak. Let me pick up the other one that popped in. Who was the other station?
And 5MPD 1129.
Yeah, 1129. That's right. I had you. My brain is just not going here tonight. 1129. Good evening, and good to hear you. I'm off of you a little bit, but no problem. Brett, go ahead.
Yeah, I missed you when you were in the Bay Area. I didn't know where you were, and then you switched up to Oakley. No problem. Yeah, you're coming in here very good for me as well, so hopefully you can hear me just as well.
Yep, just fine. And of course, we'll be keeping her out for you this weekend. Mostly at the beginning of the contest, I might be on for a few minutes at 11 o'clock a.m. in the morning on Saturday. That's usually a big contest time. And then 7 o'clock on Saturday night. And then, of course, the last hour of the contest, it will be no net, no 2-meter net, but I usually get on for the last hour and round up people that think there was a net and don't know there was a contest going on. 7-3, and we'll see you then. N5NPD, K6MYC.
3, Mike. Yep, I made a note here for 11 and 7, and I'll look around for you guys.
Alrighty. B6JNP. Are you on in the Mobile again, Dane?
No, I'm at home.
Boy, really, and I got you in a null then. Holy cow. 107, we've got you. Go ahead, Dane.
Okay, nothing new to report. Same stuff still home, so we shall catch you later. K6MYC, WB6JNP 107 course.
Okay, 107 course goal. Hopefully here we can put you in the log in several bands on the weekend, Dane. Thank you. And I moved up towards Sacramento a little bit, but was there somebody else in here? K6MYC Bozo Net 432, please. Over. Aaron, are you copying me now? K6USY, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, I'm at Marcus's, so I don't know how well I'm hearing you, but, well, I'm hearing you, but don't know how well you're hearing me. So K6USY 1079, we'll catch you later.
Yeah, you want to get the rest of the guys in front of the mic there?
I'm working on it. They're not in the room, so I got to go grab them.
Okay. I'll be waiting. I'll probably hear you better. I must have had a deep. No, I copied you in there, but it was just really weak. And normally Marcus is stronger, but I think he's still vertical on this band, isn't he?
No, it should be on horizontal. I just don't know how high up they are.
Okay, very good. Anyway, you have control of my radio. I don't know what happened here, but all of a sudden, as I key the mic and I start talking, my monitor in my hearing aids builds up louder and louder and louder. What's going on there?
Well, when you're not talking, that would be the compressor kicking in. I can turn your compressor down a little bit.
Well, I don't know. It just it has never done this before. It starts when I first come on. It's weak, and I can hear me in there. But then it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger the longer I hold the mic keyed.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know what would be causing that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you don't know, then I don't know. So we'll let it go. I'm living with it, but it's annoying.
Yeah, I bet it is. Okay, let me go get the other guys from K6USY.
Alrighty, thanks much. In the meantime, I'll see if there's anybody in where I'm pointed here. Let's see, where am I? 3. Well, I should be pretty close to you, Darren. KJ6KFB, are you there?
Good evening, Mike. K6NYC, KJ6KFB.
Yeah, good evening. You never greeted me that way. I didn't know who I was talking to there. Good evening to you, Mr. Darren.
What the heck? Got to do a more formal net approach once in a while.
Yeah, very good. Well, we're certainly looking forward to working you on several bands this weekend. So hopefully that'll happen. And, well, hopefully we'll have better conditions than we had last night. 2 meters? No, last night was good. It was 1296 was really pukey on Tuesday. But hopefully that settles down and it gets stronger. We did have one little burst of signal from you. Perfect copy for about 15 seconds, and that was it.
Yeah, it happens. Occasionally we can make a good pass. Well, we'll keep trying at it, and sooner or later we'll get it. This is Kilo Juliet 6, Kilo Foxtrot Bravo 756.
AM6, SRR.
Okay, good evening, Darren. And I hear Rob in here, KM6SRR. Good evening, Rob.
Good evening, Mike. Number 432. I hope Judy's taking a log because I'm over at the board meeting, so I'm not able to monitor it. Over.
I'm keeping a very, very good, careful log for you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You betcha.
KG6QNY 1091.
Good evening, Marcus, 1091. Good to hear you. And thanks for all you guys over there at the meeting. Are you resolving any issues at the meeting, or are you just having fun drinking beer?
Sorry, Mike, there's no beer left for you. Maybe some rum and coke.
Oh crap! I'll have a Scotch whiskey if you don't mind.
You're in luck. Marcus says he has some.
Okay. Where's OIB? Are you in here, Ken?
He's already gotten on the road. Maybe he'll get home in time to give you a holler.
Oh, okay. Very good. Anybody else there in the Bozo group?
Nope. You've got 100% of our meeting here. Well, Larry was here, but he's gone too.
Who? Larry?
Yeah. W6 OWL.
Oh, okay. He should have checked in. That's too bad. I haven't heard him for so long. I think he's 719, but I can't even remember. Anyway. Okay.
Same time Ken did, so, that was the way he left.
All right, 7-3, and I'll go on up to Sacramento here. 73's Rob, and he probably won't be home before I'm done here. I think we're coming close to the end here when I get Sacramento and Nevada. There's a few in Nevada maybe, and that'll be it. I may go back to the Bay Area. We were a little light in the Bay, but who knows? 7-3, guys, K6MYC, Bozo Net, looking toward Sacramento, Roseville.
Yeah, I won't be home, Mike, for several hours. I got to pick up the wife from the airport about 10:30.
Alrighty. KO6KD, K6MYC.
Yeah, hey there, Mike. KO6KD, Bozo 776, checking in and saying hello, and I'll get out of the way.
Well, you don't have to get out of the way. There's nobody behind you. The only other station that we expect to hear would be KR6MR. And I'm sure will be in here, but he may not be. He's been having trouble climbing the steps last couple of days, he said. Anyway, KR6MR, are you there, John?
Yeah, K6MYC. K6MYC in the group. KR6MR. Bozo 759. You might want to beat on me. See if you can get me a little bit better. Okay, continue talking for you to peak. I do have a failure out there in the power system. I don't know if the power supply is so far yet. It'll take a week or two before I can get up there and look at it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I can't get a peak on you. You're moving all over the place. Signal strength-wise, lots of QSB, so it's hard to get a peak. But we got everything okay. Well, I don't expect you to do any heavy antenna lifting in the next couple of days there. Anyway, good to hear you in here, John. Thank you for checking in, and we'll go up and get Nevada and see if there's anybody else here. Not sure. Let me try for Redding. Sometimes Redding tries to get in on CW, so I can hear him. I've worked him a couple of times up there. 73 is KR6MR, KO6KD. Let's try KD6 Sugar Whiskey, KD6SW, Redding. Anybody? Come back a little bit. I might have been off of Redding a little bit there. KD6 Sugar Whiskey, KD6 Scotch Whiskey, KD6 Sugar Whiskey, K6MYC, calling and listening for your CW there, Rich. I'm not hearing any CW. Are you guys hearing anything there, K6MYC?
No, I'm pointed the wrong way, but I'm not hearing anything.
Okay. By the way, I heard nobody on 40 meters this morning. I left the receiver running for a long time, but band was probably gone between us, right?
Yeah, I was there till a little after 9. I never heard so much as a peep.
I made noise. I called a couple of 3 times, and I looked at crickets and white noise. I didn't check to see if the band was open anywhere else. I just called you. I called you at 30 degrees azimuth, so I was off of you a little bit, but I figured if I had any signal at all, I'd get through and then I could move. I put the log on you, but I didn't do that. All right, Bill, 73s, and we'll look forward to working you in the contest. You know the routine and the timing. No net Sunday night, but I will be here for the last few minutes of the contest from 7 to 8. Not on this band, but I'll be on 2 meters, and I'll be able to go to the other bands as well. In fact, I may do it from the shack here and use the moon bounce array in the shack, and that way I have 220, 432 here, and the only band I have to leave for is 1296. Good evening, Bill, and all. K6MYC, over.
Okay, Mike, 7-3. Yeah, I'm definitely not feeling good again, so I think the infection's coming back. So anyway, we'll see what I can do. But anyway, good luck in the contest. 7-3, everybody. KO6KD.
Okay, well, try to get on a little bit Saturday night if you can. I'm sorry about the infection coming back. Aren't they seeing you and doing something for you right now? I thought you had a lot of meetings this week.
There's supposed to be a guy come by and do a chest x-ray tomorrow, but no, I cannot get the healthcare people to come out here. They're all screwed up on their timing. They don't contact me. I'm dealing with a bunch of stupid women, and I'm just fed up with them.
I hear you. Sorry about that. Alrighty. Well, hopefully, you can keep it under control there. Good evening. KO6KD, KR6MR, K6MYC, listening for anybody else toward the Sacramento area and then going to Nevada. QRZ. Okay, nothing heard, Nevada. Here we go. Okay, well, the first station now to the barrel here. Let me call right away here and see if he's hearing me. N7 Victor Alpha Zulu. N7 VAZ. I think you'll be home tonight. Let's see if you're there. Let's see if you're copying this here on 432. November 7, Victor Alpha Zulu, K6MYC, Central California, 432 Bozo Net. Over. Okay, nothing heard from him. How about KE7 UQL? KE7 Uniform Quebec London, K6MYC. How about you, Daniel? I think Daniel said he would not be here tonight. And that means we only have Larry, N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT. Are you here, Larry?
WB6JNP on a more favorable angle.
Yeah, certainly is, and we also should have W6 Papa Echo in here. Let me just see once. Mike, are you here in W6PE?
I am here. This is W6PE. I'm here, and hopefully I will continue to be here unless things get heated up here with nukes pretty soon.
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen. We have these things called MOABs, Mother of All Bombs, and they did some damage to one of the nuclear sites today. So, and they're if only the intel is correct, they're still 3 weeks away from getting the bomb ready. They were almost there, though. I don't want to get any closer than that because your timing and the information could be off, and then you're looking at them getting what we don't want them to get. Anyway, I think it's under control now, but we're in for some excitement of conventional form, I guess, right now. Over.
Yeah, I heard that they did hit some nuclear sites and also took out the chief of staff and some other high officials. So they had some targets in mind, and it sounds like they took care of them.
Yeah, it did sound like they took out 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 key military officials there, and took out some of the missile sites and some of the aircraft that was going to deliver or get involved in that. Hopefully they slowed them up so the response time will be poor and slow as well. We don't need 100 or 400 rockets launched toward the Iron Dome. They can only handle a couple hundred at a time. Over.
Yep, yeah, there are limits. So hopefully they took care of their capability to do too much. But I guess we'll find out. This is going to be an interesting weekend coming up all around, I think.
Yeah. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that it doesn't get crazy. Okay. Dane, I hear you now. Make another transmission. You may have a comment about what we were discussing here. WB6JNP, Course Gold, along with, I'm sure you're hearing a mic up there in Oakhurst, K6MYC.
Yeah, K6MYC, WB6JNP. Yeah, we just got in from Clovis, so I've been, in and out of the shack, feeding the dogs, walking the dogs, and all that. So, but anyway, yeah, it's whatever's going on. It's strange enough, and I always like the old theory that nobody talks about it, therefore nobody gives information. What was the old World War II thing? Loose lips sink ships.
Well, hope our intel is better than that. But who knows? Anyway, yeah, it will be interesting. It seems as though the Israelis have pretty good intel on what's going on. They wouldn't have been able to take out those military guys, along with the other key sites that they hit. Hopefully, that'll slow up the Ayatollah and get him back. He said this morning in an announcement that they were not going to stop making centrifuges or spinning them, and they were going to try and get more. And I think that was the trigger point. That means that the talks weren't going anywhere with Trump, even though he's trying and his people are trying real hard. But to have that jerk come out and make a comment like that, I haven't got that confirmed, but that's what I hear he said. And that's probably what triggered this. They said, well, okay, we're not going to screw around anymore. All right, 7-3, Dane, 7-3 to you, John, and we'll see you both on the weekend, hopefully. W6 Papa Echo, WB6 JNP, K6MYC. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mike, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, not too much to add on this end, so just sit back and see what happens, and make sure I got a good supply of popcorn.
Popcorn and toilet paper, that's most important.
Yeah, that's what shopping at Costco is for.
Yeah, okay. All right, 7-3. Dane, back to you for your final, and then we'll see you on the weekend, hopefully. And try to remind Dan, if you talk to him, get on for a few minutes at key times. That's 7 o'clock on Saturday night, or right at contest start time at 11 o'clock on Saturday, or at the end of the net one of the time, and let us get him in the logs. KM6HK. WB6 JNP K6MYC.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, I'll probably see him someplace along the way, and we'll see, what we can do to roust him up and get him on the bands. I will try to make it there without any problem. I don't think I've got anything going on, so, it's just making sure the radio's on the right frequency. And years and years and years ago, a friend of mine was, shall we say, vacationing in Israel on a kibbutz, and her family was, I guess, kind of well-known and respected. She was from the States, and all of a sudden this one Air Force friend of the family walks over and he goes, "Come with me," and he plants her on a Air Force base, and he goes, "We'll be back in a few hours." And that's when they did one of their early raids on the Iraqi nuclear facilities, and he figured that if Connie was on the base, she was at least safe.
Yeah, there you go. Good story.
Yeah, they typically let us know what's going to happen about 2 or 3 days after it happens.
Yeah, I hear you. By the way, I heard on the news that there's right now, currently in Israel, there's over 100,000 American citizens. Many of whom are probably family members of the armed forces that are over there in that area. About 100,000. So they, and of course the word is any one of those people get hurt or damaged, and all hell's going to break loose. Let's hope it does. Let's hope it doesn't happen, so that all hell it doesn't have to break loose, but it won't break my heart if it does. Over.
Well, a few years back, when I was in Iraq, a reporter asked me, we had just switched over from pure reconnaissance to armed projects or armed missions, and they asked me, knowing I was former Coast Guard, they go, so are you against it? I go, no, it's this way. I go, if nobody comes after us, we don't have to do anything, and that shows that they respect us. But if they don't want to play that game, that's fine. You know, we'll be glad to play it at their level. And I think they were a little amazed that I actually had that kind of attitude as opposed to the, you know, we'll shoot at anything, anywhere. But, you know, who knows? Anyway, I like the idea of working through diplomacy, and my theory has always been war is the result of politicians failing to do their job.
Well, when you got an Ayatollah that just stands there and look at you plain in the face and said, well, we don't care what kind of agreement we've come up with, we're going to keep making, we're going to order more centrifuges and continue to enhance the material that we have, that kind of puts a crimp in the talks. I don't care how good a diplomat you are.
Yeah, but you have to remember, parts have to come from someplace, so it's more than just, you know, the end user. It's where did they come from?
Who is that?
Whoever's supplying parts for the centrifuges. When you look at it, you know, there's materials that are required, be it copper or anything, and it has to come from someplace. So if you can, you know, eliminate the source, you eliminate their ability. But, you know, 6 to 1, half dozen to the other.
Yeah, it's probably coming from China, and we don't want to antagonize the situation there any more than it is. They kind of reneged a little bit on the verbal deal they had a couple of days ago. Not completely reneged, but they changed the time frame on the rare material. Anyway, a lot of things going on, a lot of things to keep track of here. Anyway, 7-3, and we'll maybe know some more in the next couple of days here. According to Kerry, it's very tenuous through June 14, and perhaps on after, but that's some very tenuous times here with respect to that kind of stuff, war and warring people. Good evening, K6MYC. I'm going to go back to the Bay Area for late checks and missed. Here we go.
Okay, good night, Mike. Good night, Judy. WB6JMP correspondent.
7-3, Dane. Rotating backwards. Anybody copy? Looking for late checks and missed. Late checks and missed in the Bay Area. K6MYC Bozo Net. Anybody? How about WB6J, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie? Where are you, Mike?
KT2G.
Oh, there he is. By God. Yeah, I've been looking for you, Marcelino. Is it Marcelino or I know we shortened it to Mark. But by the way, I've got Italian customers coming in. So we're going to have Italians in the shack here starting Monday. They're going to be viewing some tests that we're going to be doing on a whole bunch of VHF and UHF antennas that they're buying from us. But we want to do range testing for them. Anyway, I thought of you, of course, as soon as I knew they were coming. And you've been kind of quiet. Have you received your award yet from your home country?
I sure have. I just flew back about a week ago, and at the consulate on June 3rd, the consul gave me the honor of the award. And the good thing is, my dad was here, and so he flew back with me from Europe, and he was there to witness. So it was me, my family, my dad. It was so great.
Oh, that was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Is this? You suppose your award's been written up anywhere so we can read about it? Have my people look at it?
Sure. I posted it on LinkedIn. You know, the professional social media. Yeah, it's under my name. I did a post on that. That also explains, you know, what the invention is all about. And I think there is going to be an article written from the company I work for. Once that is published, I will circulate that too.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not real good at social media. I don't do any Facebook or anything like that, and I can't see anymore, so I have to have somebody else do it. Where can I look specifically that you put it? You put it on under your name or what? Over?
Yeah, so if you go, so LinkedIn, that's the only social media I do. I don't do Facebook, I don't do anything, but I do LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn is a professional network where pretty much many people have their own CV, right? And you can do some posts, and so it's under my name, and and then there's an article, a couple of photos of the event. Yes.
Okay. What's the last name, Marcelino? Is it Marcelino, or do I have that right?
It's Marcellino, but yeah, it's okay. Marcellino, as if there was a CH, right? That's how you pronounce it. And the last name is Gemelli. Golf Echo, Mike Echo, Lima Lima, India.
Golf Echo, Mike Echo, what?
Lima Lima, India.
Okay, very good. Got it. All right, well, let's see if we can find it. By the way, I used to work for the guy that started LinkedIn. His name was Gunnar Hurtig. Have you ever heard of Gunnar Hurtig?
Yeah, and that's my last post.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you answered. Did you respond to Gunnar Hurtig?
No, did I respond to?
Well, what I said was the guy that I used to work for many, many years ago started LinkedIn. His name was Gunnar Hurtig, Hurtig. I wonder if he's prominent in any way, shape, or form on the LinkedIn thing. He was always trying to get me to join up, but I never needed a job. Over.
No, I never had the pleasure.
Yeah, very, very sharp guy. Very, very good engineer, and very, very good on filters, audio filters, and all kinds of filters. That was his expertise. I remember working over there just off of in the Milpitas area in a place called KTI. That's what he had started with some other people, Kinetic Technology Incorporated. And Gunnar he was actually, we didn't even have computers in those days. He would rent computer time, and he would go in at 8 o'clock in the evening and work till midnight or 2 because he could get more computer time and wasn't so busy at that hour. That was that was in the old days, buddy.
Well, I did some of these old days. I'm not that young either, right? And but yeah, I remember getting some computer time in college. In very late hours.
Yeah, well, I don't even know if Gunnar's still alive. I think he had a ham call, but I can't remember. But he was never very active, but he did have a ham call. I probably ought to do some research on him. Haven't talked to him for years and years, but we used to be like I worked for him, but we were also pretty good friends because of the ham connection and so on. But he was the vice president of KTI, and I was just a technician. Over.
Got it. What was his name again? I can try to look him up on
the first name was Gunnar, Gunnar, Golf Uniform November AR, Gunnar Hurtig, Hurtig, Hotel Uniform Radio, Tango India, Germany. Over.
No, it does not show up.
Well, he was a founder, but maybe he's long since gone. I don't know. He may have sold his rights off or his share of the company off. I don't know. Dozens of years ago. I think the company started about 25 or 30 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I'll do some research on that.
Okay. Anyway, that when you said LinkedIn, I remember that brought a lot of memories back. Okay. Good evening to you, Marcelino, and we'll see if we can find some more details on your thing. And when you get if a story does get written about, be sure tell us where it is. I wonder if we would find any of this on Google if we just Googled your name. Over.
I believe not yet, because I mean you might find my LinkedIn post, but the article is not published yet. Once the article is published, it should be very easy.
Yeah, okay.
It's buried inside a 400-page FCC docket, right? You know, one of those documents from, I think, 2014. So that's an obscure document, but that's where it says that my invention saves 10,000 lives. And now, 10 years later, here we are.
Okay. Well, I'll ask the Italians if they know you or have heard of you. It'll be interesting to see. These guys are supposedly pretty high up guys. They're PhDs, I think some of them are PhDs. They're really particular. They're really difficult to work with because they're so anal about patterns and measuring the pattern and making sure you get every tenth of a dB and every side lobe, and the vertical and the horizontal pattern have to match. On and on and on. And they're really an annoyance to work with because you just can't explain the real world to them. Over.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, if you give them a name, they might look me up. They should be able to find me.
Yep. Well, that's why I was glad to have you come in tonight. Would you do me one more favor and refresh my memory, because I can't bring it up in my head, and Rob and all the guys aren't home yet. What's the Bozo number?
It's 863.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much. And you got a pretty good signal here tonight on 432. I think you may have done some work, or maybe we just got good propagation, but you're holding up very steady. And I've been calling for you, particularly a couple of nights ago on 1296, because I knew we can always work there. But I guess you're just getting home and getting settled. Anyway, congratulations again. Thanks so much for coming in. And don't forget, there is a contest this weekend, and you have some very usable, exciting bands. Contest starts at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's the ARRL VHF UHF contest, June contest. Big deal. One of 3 through the year. And we'd sure love to have you pop in. Starts at 11 a.m. on all bands, 6 meters through 40 gigahertz. There's quite a bit of activity around 11 a.m. in the morning on Saturday, and then I'm going to be on at 7 o'clock on Saturday evening, just on 2 meters first for a half hour, announcing the fact that I'll be on 222 at 7:30. And 1296 at about 8 o'clock. So if you can be around 8 o'clock, that would be great. We can put you in the log and maybe get you to give your contacts and information to some others that we'll have on frequency. A lot of guys follow me because I can usually get a few guys out of the woodwork. Mark, over.
Yeah, can you say the time that you'll be on the air again?
Absolutely, yeah. Saturday night, this coming weekend, Saturday evening, starting at 7 o'clock. I'll be on 2 meters. I'll be bouncing back and forth between 144, 200, which is the national calling frequency where most activity is. I'll be bouncing back and forth for a half hour between there and the Bozo Net frequency of 144, 240. I'll be announcing that I'll be going to 222 at 7:30. We'll be on 222 100. Of course, you don't have that band. And we'll be there for about a half an hour. These times aren't fixed. We just work people till there's nobody else to work, and then we go back over to the next band. But around 8 o'clock, give or take, we'll be coming up on 1296 100. 8 o'clock Saturday night. We'll be working that band for at least a half an hour, and then at the end of that, let's say 8:30, we'll be going to 432, where we are here, and we hope we can work you here as well. 8 o'clock till it's over, and then the contest goes on until Sunday at 8 o'clock in the evening. So on the contest weekends, we do not have a Bozo Net on Sunday night. But I will be on for the last hour bouncing back and forth again between 144-200 and 240, catching people that didn't know there was a contest and think there's still a net going on, and I try to collect them for more contacts in the contest. I'm not a real contester, but I try to help as many people make as many grid squares and many contacts as possible. Marcelino, go ahead.
Okay, got it. I took notes. I remember 2 years ago I was with Steve, WF6R, at the Stanford Dish. We had fun that time. I'll try and call him up and see if he's around. Yeah, he's a 6 meters and up kind of guy as well.
Well, that's the band, so it will be active. 6 meters is the bottom lowest frequency. 6 meters, 2 meters, 222, 432, 1296, 2304, and then on up into the 3 and 4 and 5 and 10 and 12 and 40 gigahertz. Over.
Yeah. So, okay, good point. I took notes. Thanks for that. I'll see if Steve is around and if I can borrow the Stanford Dish.
Yeah, no, that'd be super if you go up there, because we really got good propagation. I think we somehow missed you last night, but you just didn't know when I was going to be there. I'm not going to be active the whole contest weekend. I just can't afford the time. But I'll be on those key times at the beginning of the contest, and then most of my effort will be on Saturday night, around 7 and later.
Yeah, Roger, got that.
I can bounce to any band if somebody needs me or wants a contact on 6 meters. I can bounce over, but basically the bands I gave you are the ones I'll be on specifically. But I can always jump over to do a 6 meter contact with somebody, a rare grid or whatever, if they need it. Over.
Yeah. Do you know, is this SSB only or also FT8?
I'm sorry, what? This is the only what?
Is this only SSB or also FT8?
Oh, anything. In fact, we prefer not to do FT8. I would prefer if they didn't allow FT8 in the contest, because it keeps us from working a lot of people on sideband. It's much more fun on sideband, much more challenging. But they so far are still allowing FT8. I don't mind FT8, but it should be at a different weekend, maybe the following weekend or 2 weekends later, and do it on FT8. But it's sideband, every other mode. It's every mode, any mode you want. Most of the activity phone band wise is on 2 meters, but they also do FM 222. A lot of guys get on 222 on the calling frequency and do it there because they have FM transmitters. Over.
Got it. Okay. I'll see what bands I would be tuning into. I'll try also something at the very beginning of the day. Okay. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, Mark. Very good to hear you. Thanks again. You made my evening, and I'll be able to give the Italians a name to look up and talk about and so on. Thank you very much, sir. Good to hear you. Welcome back. KT2G, K6MYC, Bozo Net 432. Anybody else for late checks or missed?
Thank you, Mike. 73.
73, Mark. Okay, it's all quiet. I guess anybody's not. No, most guys aren't home yet. WA6OIB, are you home yet, Ken? Okay, we missed Ken, but I logged him in anyway because he was there. All right, 7-3 all. Good night all. Rob, Aaron, if you're listening someplace, thanks much, and we'll see you guys on the weekend. K6MYC closing to 432, Northern California Bozo Net. Going QRT, but I'll be monitoring for a little while.